I need to show you these clips from Trump's interview with Brian Kilmeade that we got our hands on because, oh my God, it is a disaster. Trump very clearly demonstrates multiple times throughout this interview that he doesn't even grasp these basic concepts that he himself has been promoting on the campaign trail. Now, I could be talking about tariffs there because he doesn't understand tariffs. I could be talking about immigration, or I could be talking about Bitcoin. We'll find out what I'm talking about throughout this video. All that I ask is that you leave a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 500K, and with 45 days to go until the election, let's jump in with this clip of Donald Trump saying that he wants to send the federal government after ABC News after that debate.
And the questions and topics. Do you join in those questions?
Sure, I do. I think they should be investigated, and they have to get a license from the federal government. They asked me 9 or 11 different times about things that I was right on in virtually every case.
Trump thinks that ABC should have their license stripped away and should be investigated because they asked him tough questions. This feeds into a point that I always make. Trump is very instinctually authoritarian. It's not an act that he puts on. He just can't help himself but be authoritarian every single time he talks about the Constitution. He wants to terminate it. When he talks about the media, he has to attack it and say he wants to strip it of its licensing. When he talks about elections or courts or anything else, it is all rigged against him, which feeds back to my point that Trump is so instinctually authoritarian that is why he is dangerous. He wants to subvert our will at every step of the way because he's so egotistical. And the thing is, the media exists as sort of a guardrail in a democracy. The media exists to keep politicians in check, to fact check them. People like Mark Robinson, for example, his career was deservedly nuked by CNN, and that's what CNN is there to do, to keep politicians in check. So when Donald Trump gets fact checked by either CNN or ABC or these institutions, he wants to destroy them right away. This brings me on to the next clip where Trump says that his debate with VP Harris was the strongest he's ever had. Lord have mercy.
Opponent is she? Well, I thought that she had a debate which was interesting because she wasn't answering any questions, and I thought it was a great debate for me. I thought it was one of my best debates that I've ever had, and some people disagreed, but I felt it was the strongest debate I ever had. I thought
strongest debate in terms of how many times you got fact-checked. And really quickly, Trump keeps claiming that he got fact-checked 11 times, but it was more like 2. He got fact-checked on the Haitian dog lie, which he should have gotten fact-checked on that, and then he got fact-checked on saying that babies are killed after birth, which that would be murder. So of course he got fact-checked there as well. And Trump is clearly still following the lessons he learned from Roy Cohn, closeted New York lawyer who was essentially a mob lawyer at one point and taught Donald Trump all of these lessons. Never admit defeat. Always lie, deflect, attack. An interesting story is that Donald Trump in the 70s got sued by the DOJ for refusing to rent to black Americans. And that's when he found lawyer Roy Cohn. And Cohn told him, hey, whenever you're being sued, immediately hold a press conference, attack the media, say the lawsuit is terrible, and counter sue. In that way, you control the narrative. So there are photos of Donald Trump and Roy Cohn. Like this one, I find it super interesting. This is Trump and Roy Cohn holding a press conference 40 or 50 years ago. Trump trying to control the narrative. And here we are 40 years later, 50 years later, and Trump still holds these same exact press conferences every single time something doesn't go his way. For example, the E. Jean Carroll press conference that he held a few weeks back, that was a direct result of Roy Cohn's training. Now, this is the clip where Donald Trump reveals that he can't even understand basic concepts. And to lay the groundwork really quickly, I want to read this article. It's super egregious, titled, "Trump Plans to Launch His Son's Crypto Business on Monday, 50 days before the election." This was written a few days back, but the timing of this is insane. So Trump announced a crypto platform controlled by his sons, Don Jr. and Eric. But the thing is, this is an extraordinary use of dwindling campaign time to promote personal businesses. The Republican former president has long mixed his political and business interests, and the scary thing is, Trump has pledged to turn the United States into the crypto capital of the planet if he's elected, raising red flags that he could use the federal government to help support a business tied to his family. And I think the most egregious part about the whole thing is that Trump doesn't even understand what crypto is. Actually, I take that back. Obviously, the most egregious part is that Trump will try to leverage his position as the president if he gains that power to help his family. The second most disgusting part is that he doesn't understand what crypto even is. Watch this.
I don't even get it. Do you understand what you bought hamburgers?
Well, I did. I bought a hamburger with Bitcoin. They said it was the first purchase ever made, I guess, of a hamburger or something. And now look, I'm a believer in staying at the top. This is a hot thing. And rather than giving it to China like the AI stuff, artificial intelligence, China's going crazy about it. They're also going crazy on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And I do understand it. I think it's going to be a very hot industry, and it already.
He says he understands it, but he refuses to elaborate. He just says it's going to be hot. It seems like he's chasing a wave and trying to make some money. It also reminds me of this clip where Donald Trump is selling NFTs and he talks about Bitcoins at one point in here. He very clearly doesn't know what Bitcoin is because he calls it Bitcoins. Listen right here.
Cards show me dancing and even me holding some Bitcoins. Here's the best.
Even me holding some Bitcoins. I don't mean to be ageist, but that is genuinely just like when your grandpa tries to interface with new technology that you have. He doesn't know what a Bitcoin is. He called it Bitcoins. In this interview, he refuses to elaborate. He just says it is very, very hot. And to bring it back, he's grifting off of his followers. He is trying to sell Bitcoin after his DJT stock lost 80%, after his NFTs failed and his Trump Bibles sold out. So he is straight up grifting off of his fans, like always. But in this case, it's so bad because he will genuinely try to leverage his position within the federal government to support this new crypto business. Trump literally could have just said this. Here's the definition. Cryptocurrency is a form of digital money. It can be traded over the internet. You don't have to rely on a global banking system. There are very simple ways to explain it, but we know that Trump can't explain tariffs. He can't explain Bitcoin. Watch this video of Ian Sams from the Harris campaign explaining what is at stake.
About the two visions and agendas that the top of the ticket between the vice president and Donald Trump are promoting. You see J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance has been the architect of this discredited lie about Springfield, Ohio, that President Trump and J.D. Vance have been promoting. That is his home state that he represents in the Senate. And he's putting people's lives in danger in that community with his lies. He's doubling down on them again today on the campaign trail, despite the fact that the Republican governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine, said, knock it off. So this is a guy who's willing to lie and say whatever it takes, just like his boss, Donald Trump. And so I think you'll probably see some of that in the debate, but he's going to be a smooth and polished debater. And Governor Walz is going to talk about the agenda that we're running on and warn about the dangers of the Project 2025 agenda that, frankly, J.D. Vance, it came out, wrote. He wrote an introductory version of the Project 2025 plan. And so those are the kind of things I think we can expect to see in the running mate debate.
Those are some great points. J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are using Springfield, Ohio as a prop, even more so than they used Arlington National Cemetery. They did a few photo shoots there, but this Springfield thing, they continue to double down, triple down, quadruple down. And regarding the debate between J.D. Vance and Tim Walz, I want to set some expectations here because yesterday I was thinking about this for a while, and going into it, I thought Tim Walz is absolutely going to crush J.D. Vance because J.D. Vance is awkward and slippery, but I had to correct my thinking a little bit because you have to remember, while J.D. Vance is awkward, like Ian Sam said it perfectly here, he has no trouble lying, he's polished. J.D. Vance was a lawyer. J.D. Vance isn't exactly a dumbass like Donald Trump. J.D. Vance knows how to talk, he knows how to sound appealing. So it will be an interesting battle for Tim Walz to try to fight back against this lawyer. And of course, Tim Walz is very good, charismatic, smooth, relatable. Tim Walz has it in the bag. But all that I'm saying is don't expect an absolute bloodbath. Expect J.D. Vance to slip his way out of every question, almost like a talented lawyer would. And expect those clips on the internet to not be as explosive as the Trump campaign. I think J.D. Vance will stop himself from biting in a way. So those are some expectations on my behalf. What do you guys think? What do you expect from the debate? Do you think it's going to be a total bloodbath? Do you think J.D. Vance is going to be able to lawyer his way out of this stuff? Is Tim Walz going to go hard? Let me know in the comment section below. I love to hear from you guys. Make sure you have a great rest of your day. Subscribe to the Mockler channel. We're so close to 500K, and have a great day yourself. Peace out.